Hello and welcome back to Ginger Kid Outdoors. Today I have a new rifle out. Going to do an unboxing video. This is a Sig Sauer. The model number is WRMCX 556N16B COY. It is a Spear LT in the MCX line in 5.56 with a 16-inch barrel, 1 7 twist. Now this rifle is a little bit different than a lot of the other ones you've seen on YouTube. First up, let me go off as to what this rifle comes with. It has the standard 28 round YouTube compliant Magpul magazine. And what gets a little bit different from there is this one comes with not only a regular military style cleaning kit. The cleaning kit does feature a nice bronze brush, but it also has, instead of the standard stainless steel rod, it has a regular bronze slotted and probably a brass slotted tip with a brass sectioned rod and a regular composite T-handle. Comes with a chamber brush and a board brush. And of course it's got the most ridiculous of, if I can get to it here, where'd they go? There they are. And apparently Sig Sauer felt it necessary with their cleaning kit to include like maybe 15 .223 5.56 caliber patches, which won't really clean anything. From there, it's got your typical gun lock. It has another nylon cleaning brush. Of course, the Sig Sauer manual with a nice little QR code on the front of it in order for getting the actual full product manual. It has, before I get to that, it comes with a Sig Sauer QD rail mount that'll mount up on the Picatinny rail. And it also has what has been best described as a 2-point sling, but in a minute when I get into the rifle, I'll show you it's probably more of a 3-point sling. It's got sewn in push button QD slots on it. And that's pretty much will conclude what comes with this rifle. Now we'll get into the rifle itself. Okay, now we're going to get into the actual rifle and what separates it from the standard rifle that's out there, the MCX Spear LT. The biggest difference, I'll get rid of this bag first. Okay. So our first difference is going to be this is not an FDE colored Spear LT. This is a coyote colored, same as what the big 308 Spear is. Now this is an all anodized system. This is not Cerakote. It is not the new Gen 2 IR coating. As I mentioned, this is a anodized finish. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it that well, but the handguard is a little bit different shade of coyote from the upper receiver to the lower receiver. Also on it, it's got the side folding telescopic stock to it. And of course it is the new push button generation side folding. And it does of course fold over to the left hand side, as you can see. Now the other thing I noticed is in Sig Sauer's product information, they say that the barrels are nitride coated with the regular Spear LTs. This one looks to be a phosphated coating. This is not nice and smooth like the nitride. You can see that there's some kind of a DLC coating on the carrier group, which is probably pretty indicative of what the Spear LT is going to have. And of course, instead of being the black forward assist and brass deflector, it's got a coyote colored one. So going back from there, of course, the full ambidextrous nature of the new Spear LT. You've got your bolt release, bolt stop there. You've got your mag release, safety. Going on the other side, you got a little bit bigger safety for the right-hand users. You've got your oversized bolt release, bolt catch there, and of course the right side, actually no, it'll be the left side, magazine release. And the other thing on this rifle, which you will not find on any other spears, are the flip-up sights. This has a fully adjustable front sight to it, so it is not only adjustable for its regular elevation like standard ARs are set up. This has got a windage adjustable drum on it, so you can adjust the front sight independently from the rear sight. And the rear sight has got its own windage drum, but it is also set up with a actual rotating drum on the back for different yardages. So you're going to have your first setting here is going to be the Z setting, or the 0. It'll probably be a basic battle sight from 0 to 200, 300. I forget what the US military goes to. But then from there, it's going to be 100, 200, 300, 100-yard increments all the way up to 1,000. Well, I should say yard. It actually could be meters. Most militaries are running meters, but this model actually is a law enforcement model, so I would be interested to find out if this is meters or yards. There is no detent that captures it. It's just a flip up and a flip down, but they are a pretty solid flip up and flip down. They don't easily flip back and forth. Now, of course, this has got the match duo trigger on it. I was playing with the trigger. I've got a lot of Geissleys, and this is not near as nice as what your Geissle triggers are. It's got around a 3-pound 6-ounce to 3-pound 11-ounce first stage pull on it from playing around with my Wheeler trigger gauge, and then from there for the full poundage, it's anywhere, I was pulling from probably that 5.5 to 6-pound pull total. But I will notice the more I've done dry firing, the little bit smoother the trigger's getting. It seems like it is reducing in poundage little by little, but I don't think it's going to be under probably a total 5.5-pound trigger. So if that's something that's not going to be adequate for you, definitely look into changing that out with any myriad of AR-15 triggers out there. With the additions they made to the LT, you can now use a standard AR trigger in them. You do not need to go with the MCX specific triggers like Geissle manufacturers. You can pretty much go with any Geissle trigger. Now, I should mention the only thing that did not come on this rifle from factory from SIG is a Magpul QD socket I have up here. That's a M-LOK QD socket. I did not know that it was going to come with a sling or a little single point swivel up there, so a QD cup, I should say. Now, as I was mentioning about the sling, I'm pretty sure what I've been able to find on this sling online is they say it's a 2-point sling, but I tried to adjust it out for a 2-point sling, and it is not long enough in order to incorporate that. Let me close this up. So as you can see, basically it looks like it's pretty much a basic 3-point style sling, where it'll be your point back here, another one there, and then your third point will be there. Because any way I've tried, I got the sling almost extended all the way out. For a 2-point sling, unless they figured it was just going to be a standard over-the-shoulder carry, which, I mean, you never really know what a company like this is going to be thinking their end user is going to be using it as. But if I had to venture a guess, I would say it's probably set up to be a 3-point sling. Now, the other thing is it's got a QD buckle up here, but it's sewn on both sections here. So the only thing I was figuring what you could use this for is you could slide this back. So if you were shooting, get it back far enough. If you're going to be shooting off your non-dominant shoulder, you'd be able to rig it up for that. But I don't know how easy it's going to be to try to get that snapped back in there. Of course, I have also got a different sling that I'm going to be using on this. I've got a VTAC sling, so that will be going on this rather than this sling. But I mean, if push comes to shove, I do have a really nice set of QD sockets I could basically just cut out of the sling and use those for anything in the future. Go ahead and get rid of this bag for what's up next. And of course, we're going to let the little gun elves accessorize the rifle for me. Put this back in here. We'll wind this up and put it off to the side. Now what we got for accessories is, of course, the 28 round magazine, some ladder covers in black. I will be changing those out for probably OD green. I've got a aluminum Magpul Picatinny rail, another ladder cover. I also have an AEMS. This is the MRS series, so it's got the multi-reticle system, and it's in the green dot. This is, of course, the solar safe model, and it does come with the nice lens covers there. I went with this model. Primary Arms had a great deal on these. 24-hour sale, they were like $270. Actually, no, that was after I paid for shipping and my taxes. It was $250, so I mean a great deal on this AEMS. And then everything else is I've got some Fab Defense. These are OD green, just regular M-Lock covers. And these again were by Fab Defense. They've got, pour those all in there, throw that off to the side. And the way these work is they'll go into the M-Lock interface and then they clip down and they snap in place to hold them in place. So that way you just use a flathead screwdriver, pry these back up, and you can take those off pretty easily. Close that back up. That way the little gun elves can do their work. And should be able to open this up, and we have a completely accessorized rifle. Okay, so two things before we unveil the partially kitted out rifle. The gun elves would like me to tell you that it is always beneficial to make sure you have all proper adjustment tools on hand, such as the Hollow Sun little key in order to tighten down the AEMS. It just so happens that I had a spare one that I was able to throw into the box to allow them to use, that I keep back here around my range. I have a EPS and EPS carry. Both of those have the multi-reticle system on them. And then I also have, of course, the green AEMS MRS, and then I also have a red AEMS MRS. There are a lot of letters there, I know, but I've had a lot of good luck so far with Hollow Sun with the red dots. Eventually I probably will switch over to probably an Aimpoint Pro to put on this, but I do want to run that green red dot. They do say it's better for like sunlight and that kind of stuff, so I just want to try out that the red dot for right now, and it was a great price. Now, nice thing is, I got to point out with the box here is you can tell with the W prefix, I think this is a little bit different box than what they're actually going to send for like the styrofoam packing, because it clearly has space for you to actually put a LPVO come on this rifle from the factory. I did not see any SKUs like that had that, but it is an option. Second thing is the little gun elves said putting these freaking Fab Defense little panels on here were not the greatest thing, and it does add a little bit more girth to the fore end, but I do like how well it actually points using these. And of course, I am in Wisconsin, so I will be using this in cold weather as well as hot weather, so something that actually keeps your hands away from all this aluminum is not a bad thing, especially if you're going to be wearing gloves. This is supposed to be good for any kind of heat transfer, so it's supposed to keep your hands from feeling a lot of the heat coming off of the barrel, and then that piston system up here. So yeah, I do like this. The way you adjust the stock is a little bit different than what you're used to. It's got a little push button here that you have to push in before you can actually activate the other button to disengage the collapsible stock, so you can kind of put that in. The other thing is, I had a lot of YouTubers I saw as I was doing research on these complain about like the barrel weight. The barrel being way too barrel heavy. Well, I gotta say, This rifle here with a 16-inch barrel seems to balance pretty decent right just around forward of the magazine well, which I would say that's actually should be pretty decent of a balance. So most of that weight is going to be spread between that, and I don't know if it's because of the side folding collapsible buttstock is a little bit heavier than what that that skeletonized, that slim looking stock that they put on all the other ones, but that is pretty well balanced for me. So that is pretty much going to conclude the my little unboxing here of my SIG MCX Spear LT, or LT Spear, however you want to kind of like denote it. Another thing that they did mention was on these rifles that were the W prefix, and I'm kind of looking at it now, they mentioned nothing about Spear LT on these whatsoever. And in fact, the only thing they do specify is MCX multi-cal. So I guess that's something I'll have to do some more research on and see if the other Spear LTs, if they actually specify Spear LT on the lower anywhere or on the upper, which this does not. So I don't know if that's going to be just indicative of this model, or if that's something that's going to be the difference between the Spear LT and then the regular W prefix here like this one is. I will put down in the description the actual, again, the full model number of what this rifle is, and then the actual UPC code. So if you're interested, you can go online, do some searching, and then if you can find one of these rifles, you can have it shipped to your FFL. The other thing is I should mention is after shipping and my transfer fee, this rifle is $2,300. Everything else I found online was $25 to $27. So I don't know if it's because it is a law enforcement model, they were a little bit cheaper, or if it was one of the kind of deals where the distributors got sick and tired of having these on hand and they're not the standard Spear LT, so they wanted to like kind of get rid of them. The closest Spear that is cataloged by SIG is going to be the Spear LT IR that will have this buttstock end, but of course it will have a Cerakote IR Gen 2 coating, where this one is, as I mentioned, a Coyote anodized. So yeah, I think all in all it should be a pretty sharp rifle. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is these Fab Defense rails are probably going to end up going bye-bye, and I'm going to switch those out to a Ergo Coyote that they have. Well, actually, I guess it's brown and a OD green, and put those on there. Give a little bit more color to the Coyote rifle, kind of break up the color a little bit too, to give us its own kind of camouflage that's easily to just pop on and off. And then I want to go with a OD green rail cover, which, I mean, the black does look pretty nice on the against the Coyote. So as I mentioned, that's pretty much going to wrap up this little overview. Now before I completely finish, I want to mention again Farmer Rain. I will be doing a lot of shooting out here in this next upcoming months, and it is really muddy, and although they make a great rain jacket, what I also love using my Farmer Rain for is any shooting off of the ground, because the slick material, this is their shiny black and a size medium 3-pocket. 3 pockets give you a little bit more storage. Of course, up on the top it has a pocket up here that folds down over to give it more of a waterproof interior for like your phone. But as I mentioned, this is a shiny black. They also have it available in a shiny light pink, a ice blue they call it, which is a matte, and a true blue, which is more like a navy in a matte material. The other thing I will mention, that these are all one-piece bodies. There is no seam at the sides, so they are a little bit more durable than what any of your jackets are going to be that have seams running down the sides, of course. Now, another color that they're going to have coming, it's going to be their shiny blue. Now, this is going to be a, and as you can see, I already got this one muddy. As I mentioned, I had it laying on the snow too, so it's a little bit wet. But yeah, I don't buy much of my Farmer Rain here just for rainy days. It works great for rainy days, but it also is fantastic if you're looking for something that is going to keep you dry and clean and is easy to clean off when you're getting in and out of the car. So definitely go ahead and go to farmerrain.com, check that out. The shiny blue will probably be coming in the spring. As I mentioned, they've got an ice blue in a matte and a almost like a navy, they call it true blue in the matte, and then the shiny black here, and they also have a shiny light pink. So pretty much any color you might be looking for, they will have something that'll hopefully fit your need. So as I mentioned, go to farmerrain.com and check that out. And with that, quick little plug of my favorite Swedish raincoat company. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this. So hope you enjoyed my quick little overview and unboxing of my SIG Spear LT here. I can't wait to see how the sights actually perform and start shooting a whole bunch of different AAC ammo that I do have on hand. I also want to get out that Geisley that I did an unboxing video on. Also, I have a Arkin 1-8 EP8 scope set up on that. So I want to do some more shooting, get a bunch of my AAC ammo out and test that out too to see which grain weight that likes the best. So kind of be interesting to put both of these together, see which one actually shoots a little bit better considering MSRP. They're pretty close in price. Usually this is about $400 or $500 more than what that Geisley, what is that Geisley? Super Duty, that's it. The heavy barrel Super Duty rifle. So usually about $400 or $500 more than what the Geisley is, but the Geisley does have a hammer forged barrel. I will say that this has got a hammer forged barrel, but other than that, it's been very hard to find information on the rest of what this gun's makeup is. They mentioned it's got a hammer forged barrel. That's it. As I mentioned, they got a nitrided barrel, but I'm pretty sure this is a phosphate, so it's not nitride. And one of the things I read on forums is the W prefix models have a chrome lined barrel where none of the regular, what they call the civilian ones, the regular LTs, they're all nitrided. So, but again, that was on internet forums, and can you actually believe them? Probably not. So I sent an email out to SIG with the actual full model number of what this firearm is and the serial number. So hopefully they will get back to me and give me some information. If they do, I'll be sure to include that on my next video that I do on this when I'm actually out shooting it here. Hopefully that will be within the next couple days. We went from basically negative 20-degree temperatures. Now it was 50 yesterday, 54 actually yesterday. Now it's back up to about 51, 52 today. So supposed to be in the high 40s to low 50s for the rest of this week. So definitely it'll be rid of the rest of the snow, and hopefully we'll dry up some of the mud so it's not that much of a problem. So hope you enjoyed my video, and hopefully I won't be a month before I get a chance to make another one.